I got my rims ain't clean. How you gonna act my leg don't bling? Haters get sprayed like Afro Sheen, but they never really wanna have them things. Oh god, I love this song. What's going on, guys? Alright, cut. Serious gamer mode time. Right here, right now. TCGO. I haven't uploaded a trading card game match in like a long period of time, ladies and gentlemen. So here I am coming back at you with a God of War, Mewtwo, Machamp kind of mix or whatever like that. I kind of let somebody use my Terrakions. I find myself repeating this. Like, this is deja vu. I remember saying this before. In some other previous occurrence that I've let somebody use my Terrakions, and I'm stuck with my Machamps. And here we are again. So now I'm just gonna be paired up against a deck where I initially have the advantage of. That's kind of what the computer said. But just because the computer says that you have an advantage against your opponent doesn't mean that you have that advantage, because it all depends upon factors like how you play the game, or like how well skilled you are. Just because you have a type advantage, like in a simulator, just because you have a type advantage doesn't mean you have a skill advantage. So you find that things like Celebi killing your Heatran because you suck. But anyway, just kidding. But yeah, he has like a type advantage to fighting, which I have the Machamp to cover that weakness, I guess. Since I also checked up the Thundurus, and Thundurus surprisingly has that same weakness as well. I think that it will have like its weakness to its own type, like Zapdos does, since it is electric and flying. So Zapdos has a weak disadvantage against other electric types. I guess, in the simulator, I'm talking about, no, I'm not even talking about the simulator. I'm talking about in the card game. In the card game, Zapdos has the weakness against its own type. In the simulator, it has neutral damage against its own type. So I would figure that Thundurus, which is my point, would have the same thing, but Thundurus doesn't. They all are weak against fighting types. So anyway, I'm gonna lead things off with my my two routes. That's what the simulator gave me. And I'm just going to decide to attach a psychic energy onto the routes that I have in the back row, as opposed to the one in the front row, because I figure like this dude has Zekrom, Thundurus, all the other jazz, man. If you like let off or decide to like switch off with his Thundurus, which is what I thought his thought process may be, because I thought that he might probably want to get as much electric energies in his graveyard as possible, so that later on when he sets up the electrics that he might accumulate later on, and that he will, spoiler alert, will accumulate later on in this particular game that we play here. I would figure it'll be a much easier process to attach those electric energies onto the bench Pokemon that he would accumulate on the back road, on the back side of the field. So that's what my training process was here. I was like, hey, let me just attach a psychic energy onto the routes in the back, as opposed to wasting it, wasting the routes that I have currently and attaching the energy that I have on the routes only for it to get killed and to discard the electric energy that I could have used on another route and or something else. You guys get what I'm saying. So I took an essay to discard a census there. But I'm just going to play Professor Nothing because I was Pokemon Collector. And I get 2 Machops as well as a Cleffa. So I'm probably... Well, the Collier that I have... no, the routes that I have currently on the field, but I want to retreat it since he played the Sky Arrow Bridge, which will allow me to pay 1 less colorless energy to retreat my Pokemon. So I retreated it first before evolving it, if you guys got that ideology. If you guys got, why I did that. If you guys don't understand it, yeah. Pokemon TCG isn't for you. But I don't know why I'm explaining these basic principles, really. But, yeah, I'm able to evolve my Collier into a Ralts, because Collier evolves into Ralts. Guys, I haven't played this game in a long time, so forgive me. Next thing you know, I'll be saying a Gardevoir evolves from Alakazam. But yeah, I get to evolve my routes into a Collier, and that's pretty good. I have the Cleffa. Sadly, I wasn't able to get like a Red Candy into a Machamp, which is what I really want to get going before he gets set up. So I'm looking at the Zekrom. I'm like, okay, I could probably get Zekrom off the field if he attaches like a Double Colorless Energy onto it. I'll be so happy if like I get a Machamp or something like that. I could probably risk it, attach the Double Colorless Energy that I have in my hand onto one of my Machops, and then like get a Red Candy and something. But then I'll be short of 1 fighting energy. So You know, just all thinking here while he's just making all his acrobatics with his moves right now. He's just able to evolve his Tynamo into an electric, set another Tynamo, as well as I think play the retreat cost on the Zekrom, being that he doesn't have to pay 2 thanks to his own Sky Arrow Bridge. And then now we're both faced with our Cleffa, so that's pretty good. Accumulate stuff, and before he plays the Cleffa's ability, he's going to attach as many energies that he can in the graveyard, which is 1 at the moment, since he has only 1 electric on the field, onto one of his backward Pokemon. I believe he attached it onto his Zekrom. So now I'm just going to attach a, repeat my same ideology that I had before, attach a DCE onto the Machamp. I was about to say Machamp because it's really what I want, onto, the back row just side of the field. So I'm just going to play N, and I was kind of reluctant to play N because it allows him to get a new hand. Plus, I'm giving him 1 extra card because Cleffa allows him to get 5 as opposed to getting 6 that I just gave him with the N. Breathe, Kashif. So I'm just going to play Break Hanging Out, and I run into what I was dying to get. Ah, yes. Huh, baby. I got the 4 arms, man. Show these guns. Ah, dynamic punch. Anyway, calm down. So I'm just gonna play Clef's ability here because I can't really do too much. I mean, I could get like Junk Arm, but it doesn't make sense to me for me to waste my Junk Arms as of yet. I do happen to run into a Pokemon communication, which is kind of helpful in this case. I kind of hoped that, or wished that I left one of my fields open so I could have a Drowsy so that he won't be switching back and forth and things like that. It could kind of cripple him a little bit, but that doesn't work out. He plays Catcher for my Mewtwo, so I figured out he might want to do some hefty big damage onto my Mewtwo, I guess via Zekrom. So, yeah, I guess the next turn, so he wants to Mewtwo second there. I attach 1 energy. I believe Mewtwo counts as a basic Pokemon as well as the EX, so I can switch Mewtwo out manually thanks to the Sky Arrow Bridge. I believe it costs 2, or is it 3? I don't even know. I can't even see from here. But I'm just going to play Pokemon Communications, about to say Collector, into a Gardevoir. Now see why people run Dual Ball as opposed to Pokemon Collector, because Dual Ball counts as a trainer, and you can play other things, other things later on. And whenever I find myself playing Pokemon Collector, to be honest, I really need like maybe 1 or 2. Like I'll just like get the 3rd one just to sit on my deck from 1 extra card, or maybe pay for a card cost or something like that from Junk Arm. But then that also counts for me playing that particular supporter that turn. So I can play a Dual Ball, get a Pokemon potentially, and then afterwards play something else. See, I'm slowly learning about these games, man. Like, I'm still learning. Although I have these cards, like I said before, just because you have the type advantage doesn't mean you have the type skill advantage, if you guys understood that, So, I'm just going to get my Mewtwo out of there. I have the Pokemon Collector again, which is not a Pokemon Collector because it's a Pokemon Communication, and I can't evolve my, I should have actually got, no, I have 1 Carlia in this deck. That's why I didn't use it to get a Carlia and evolve my routes that I have sitting in the back row side of the field into a Carlia, because I don't have a secondary Carlia, because I was relying on the Junk Arms as well as the rare candies to fill that void. But unfortunately, he's going to play Loss Removal, which is a short shot way of getting rid of that double colorless energy that I have in my Machamp. So I'm just going to have to probably do it the hard way and attach 3 fighting energies onto the Machamp, which is kind of tedious at this moment because I reluctantly got rid of one of the DCEs earlier on in this particular match. If you guys paid attention when I played the Sage's Training, I was debating whether I should get like the Kalia or, something else. But I was like, I see a DCE, I'm not exactly sure. Plus, I also saw a fighting energy. But I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket via Machamp, so I didn't take all the energies, I took all the Pokemon, so I'm kind of regret it now because of the situation. So I'm looking at Catcher, Collector, no, Catcher actually. I'm looking at N as well. I could replenish my hand after I play Catcher, so I'm just going to Catcher him out into his supporter. If I get rid of that, that'll be easy. I figure I want this thing on the field right away. At least I'll kind of want him to waste, a switch or something like that in order to get his electric back on the safe zone, which is the bench. So 40 damage because he doesn't have anything attached to his electric, as well as me having a Gardevoir, which one of my psychic energies counts 2. So he's gonna play the Seeker, and I can return either Rouse or Cleffa decides return routes, which I actually should have probably returned the Cleffa because he played. If you play something else, like maybe some crazy play like a Hydreigon, and for whatever reason decides to get 4 energies attached onto his Hydreigon from the Deanno that he has in the back row side of the field, he can attach and inflict 40 damage onto the Cleffa, and I won't have a Cleffa anymore to shuffle my hand out. So it was kind of foolish for me to play that way. So I'm still learning, guys. So he has a switch. So it's good that he has to waste his switch, but at the same time, I kind of regret not having an immediate answer to that. But now I notice that one of my sides are vacant thanks to his own seeker, so I can actually attach or play something else. I see I see a Mewtwo that I just drew into. I'm like, I want Drowsy, but I want Mewtwo, but I want Drowsy, but I want Mewtwo. Okay, if I play the Mewtwo, I have another Mewtwo set up thanks to the Gardevoir. So okay, that's 2 big major ass threats right there. I could have attached it onto the Mewtwo that I have currently on the field to get rid of his Cleffa right away, but then I didn't want him to like do some crazy move. I've seen this happen to me before. Some crazy plus power. This guy has like 6 cards in his hand. I don't know what he's concocting there. So I do have the Machamp, which is not set up anymore. If I had the Machamp set up with the DC that I had previously attached onto it, and then like maybe another fighting energy that he has currently on it, then I would have gladly did that. Got rid of the Cleffa, and then like I wouldn't have to worry about anything more. Like anything too much, because he, aside from the Evalite that he has on the Thunderous, he can't, really deal with Machamp effectively without having to put his other Pokemon at risk via like Zekrom and the other Zekrom that he has. Now I'm kind of scared of that because that's an EX, and he has a lot of electric energies in his graveyard. He's just now attaching onto his Zekrom EX there, and plus he has another electric energy which he attached onto the Thunderous from his deck via Thunderous's first attack. So now I'm just gonna play the Junk Arm. I believe I'll play Catcher. Junk Arm, these 2 cards that I don't really need at the moment. I Junk Arm a Drowsy. Excuse me, guys. I just came back from work. Oh, I'm not yawning anymore, but yeah, I just came back from work, so excuses. Shouldn't be tiring. Damn, that's so inconsiderate, unprofessional. Freaking yawning during a Wi-Fi battle. It's not even a Wi-Fi battle. Wow. Yawning during a TCG match, which is inconsiderate. Sorry about that. But here I'm debating whether I should attach this energy onto the Mewtwo. I don't know, man. You guys are probably screaming like, damn, Kashyyyk, you should have did it, man. Like, what the hell's wrong with you, man? Like, fuck. Like, are you noob? Seriously, like, do that mad damage. But I wanted to kill the damn bastard, seriously. I notice he has 3 energies, I believe, but if I'm squinting my eyes properly, he has 3 energies attached onto it. I don't want him getting like 4 and then it's just nuts. He could probably have another loss remover in his hand. I don't even know what the priority of playing that would be if I attached it onto the Mewtwo as opposed to attaching it onto the Machamp. I kind of don't want to rely on Mewtwo itself. Mewtwo is a great threat, but at the same time, just because he has a weakness to fighting, I kind of want to get these 2 Machamps going. I have 2 Machamp primes, man. Looking to smash somebody with the 4 arms. And they're just in the back row like, I don't do nothing. I don't know what to do. I mean, seriously. I want them to get set up so they can, have some plus power, dynamic punch in action. In the game, like, whenever you see an action figure commercial, what do the people usually do? They usually showcase little kids, if not adults for some whatever reason, playing with the kid, like playing with the action figure, like let's say let me just get the action figure here. Let's say Throw. You're advertising a Throw, and then he has some, these little freaking obstacles that he's smashing to demonstrate his great power that the mighty Throw might encase. To tell why your 9-year-old or 10-year-old kid should go to Toys R Us and grab himself a Throw. But it's like but the point is, my chance is sitting in the back row. Pointless, man. Anyway, beside all that, he plays interviewers questions, and I missed with all that sidetracked stuff that I was just doing. Him evolving his Deanno straight into the Hydreigon. Oh my lord! Oh, somebody kill me now. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? I really don't know. On a serious note, like I don't know. And this guy has the Evolite on the Thunder, so it's just like trolling me because he can actually, which is smart. He just accumulated damage up to Mewtwo. Now I kind of want to play the switch and play the other Mewtwo, but I don't want any unnecessary damage onto it yet. I could probably use the Mewtwo that I have currently as an active Pokemon for later on, but at the same time, like I just said, I could probably switch. But then hey, I didn't even do my math. I should have used the switch and then had the other Mewtwo kill it off. So now he gets a free opportunity to kill my Mewtwo off that. What, Kashif? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. You see, oh God. This reminds me of when I used to play Diamond and Pearl, like like 4th gen. Like I don't do so much the 5th gen, but like 4th gen, I used to look at my videos and I'm like, Kashif, why did you Fire Blast the Heatran? You know, I mean seriously. But it doesn't matter in this case because he has a catcher, I guess. So he could have probably did all that maneuvering that he did, thanks to his junk arm to get a catcher. No! No, that is not fair. Oh, shoot. Machamp only has 150 hit points and he uses the catcher not to kill it. And one thing I want to point out is if you guys saw that just now, beside all that, sidetracking, dialogue that I was spewing out a little bit earlier on just now, if you guys saw that, he only had to pay 1 card for Junk Arm. Now, that kind of got to me. That pissed me off. And I was like, wow. I'm like, you serious? I'm like, okay. He plays Junk Arm. I'm like, okay, discard your last card or whatever. Thank you. Appreciate it. And he gets the catcher from discarding 1 card when the card's requirement is 2 cards. So I'm like, why does this guy have to catch it in his hand? And I'm like, setting up the Machamp, and now I'm like just highly upset because I played that kind of so well that he would have no cards in his hand. That's what I always used to do in Yu-Gi-Oh! I would never attack or never really fully go all out unless I knew my opponent had like little to no resources in his hand. Because field presence, I mean, okay, fine, you have like 7 cards in the field, 7 back row, magic or trap cards in the field. Oh, heavy storm, there goes your back row, but I used to at least feel comfortable knowing that my opponent had nothing in my hand. That means that if I did a full-fledged attack, then he will have to use the cards that he has in the back row, thus wasting more of his resources. So now he has nothing in his back row, nothing in his hand, can't defend himself all too effectively as if he had cards in his hand. So now the whole point of what I'm trying to make the comparison from Yu-Gi-Oh! To this particular game here, Pokemon, is that now I just got like 1 card in his hand, and I was just so sure that I had it just because of that, card disadvantage and all the damage counter that he has. And I'm like, man, I just like really want. I was just about to play like catcher, to destroy that electric, so that his support goes as well as the number of cards that he has in his hand. So that will kind of cripple him, and then afterwards take out the big threats to claim the victory. But none of that happens because of a stupid junk arm, a junk arm glitch. So yeah, trying to make it as fun as possible. But yeah, I'm really that like gamer, that pissy gamer moment, whatever like that. Like I really kind of always make fun of other people about, but I'm kind of in it and stuff. Like people laugh about other people about. Why am I just like sidetracking away? I should be like focused on this video. Bang. So my clever doesn't wake up, which is fortunately for me great. I get another turn of procrastination. So I'm just gonna play the Switch, and I guess I'm gonna get I don't know, Mewtwo. He has an immunity to Mewtwo. No, not immunity in the simulator, but not the trading card game. He has a resistance. That's what it's called, resistance. Aim for the horn, Pikachu. Is only 20 less damage, but I'm like debating what the hell I'm gonna do. I have a fighting energy. Oh joy! Thank you. So I'm just gonna attach it onto the Mewtwo that I think I have in the back row. Because Mewtwo doesn't have any damage counters onto it already. I could probably. I'm like, should I play this energy right here now, or should I like risk playing Professor Juniper or N or something like that? And then like, oh sorry. And then like using one of that in order to get a DCE so that I could get the Machamp going. So I'm thinking about, alright, what should I do? Machamp requires a DCE as well as a fighting energy. So I'm just going to play the Junk Arm here. I'm going to discard the N because I don't want him shuffling his hand. And the Rouse is pointless at this moment. So I think I'm just going to get Catcher. so he could like calm down Hydreigon down a little bit, and I could get a little bit more time with my Gardevoir, as well as my Hypno. So I think I'm gonna go after one of his supporters. This one. And then afterwards should I play Juniper or so I can play Juniper a little bit later on. That's what I'm gonna do. Unfortunately, that affords me a 1-card shortage because I unfortunately draw into the same Juniper that I just put back into my deck. So now let's get him a little bit. He's asleep. I don't think I could kill it. I'm not exactly sure. Switch into Cleffa. Hope that he stays asleep for one particular turn, and afterwards play Cleffa's ability, and then eke out my hand for more options. I think that's what I was getting at. Because I want Machamp set up. Machamp has a fighting energy attached to it, and I drew into the other DC because I knew I put 4 in this deck. I didn't draw into it right away, and I was hoping that one of the DCs weren't one of my prize cards. So Lady Luck comes in through for me again, and he's not able to wake up, so I guess he has to have no choice but to pass the turn. So after all that, my Clef is awake, and I think I'm just gonna be able to switch out into my Mewtwo. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry for the yawning, and alright. Sorry for 2 things. I'm sorry for apologizing all the time because that's annoying. I'm sorry for yawning because that's annoying. So I shouldn't be annoying. So there goes the other Gardevoir. Oh joy, yay! But I'm just gonna attach a energy onto the Machamp, and I think I'm going to return my Cleffa in the back row. So my Machamp is set up a little bit more. It actually set up right now because I can use Machamp's Poke Power and grab the fighting energy that's attached to Mewtwo and then have Machamp switch out with Mewtwo because that's Machamp's Poke Power ability, which would allow me to take 1 fighting energy from 1 Pokemon that I have actively on the field, and then I would switch Machamp, which is on the bench side of the field, with my active Pokemon. So I'm able to kill the Pokemon EX with all that acrobatics that I just did with the couch and all that other jazz because he's weak to it. Draw into another couch, which is great. So I could probably knock out the Hydreigon if I'm not too, I guess I could. I do have, if he plays like a catcher himself, he can't do too much of anything about it. He plays a Pikachu, which at first I'm not too worried about, but, that's because I saw the other Raichu that he has. So I figure once I get rid of the Hydreigon as well as the Zekroms shouldn't be a problem because I have 2 Mewtwo's in the back row. So once I get rid of that, spoke too soon because he got rid of Gardevoir. So now I'm going to have to be forced to attach a secondary Psychic Energy onto my Mewtwo to do a full-fledged attack. So I can play the Juniper and end this game right here now, but yeah, it's pointless. We don't give up. We don't give up in here. So Pokemon Communication sent out one of the Gardevoirs. Let's see what I get. Maybe I get something else, or maybe I could just like leave the Gardevoir inside the deck to like dwindle down the amount of turns that I have left over. Since Gardevoir is the only card that I have Pokemon wise left in my deck, I'm gonna decide not to take it back. So let's see. I'm just gonna play this last Psychic Energy. I have like no energies left over. This is it. If Machamp dies, that's it for fighting. If Mewtwo dies and all that other jazz, Hypno could probably put that Hydreigon to sleep. And looking back at it, I should have probably took care of the Hydreigon first, as opposed to taking care of the Zekrom right away. Because I wanted to get the Zekrom out of the way. Because I know that Zekrom. I know that Zekrom could come in and revenge kill my my Machamp, and I didn't want that right away. I wouldn't want him like playing Switch or anything like that. So I kind of wanted the Zekrom. I deemed Zekrom as a higher threat than the Hydreigon in this case. So now he plays Raichu Prime, and I'm looking at that. I'm like, oh shoot, there is no way in hell I'm gonna win this battle now. So I'm like, crap, I thought I had this game. But unfortunately, what he's going to have to do is I'm going to have no choice but to keep my Machamp in here. And what's going to take place is that once the Zekrom dies, all his energies go to the graveyard. He has 2 electrics, and then he can attach them to whomever. The 4 electric energies that he has onto his Hydreigon, he could attach that. If I kill the Hydreigon, he has 3 electric energies left on the Zekrom. He could just switch all of them, my point being, onto the Raichu Prime and then finish me off to claim his last prize. Either way, I'm screwed up. So I'm just like, you know, fidgeting here, heads, whatever reason. And I'm like, you know, I have no choice but to kill it. I'm sorry, whatever. But at least it was a close game. That was a great game. I'm still getting the hang of this. Viewers, do not. Wait, when I say that, I should look at you and address you as human beings. So you should not forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Sorry if I'm a little tired. There I go again, apologizing for everything under the sun. So, yeah. Hope you guys had a lot of fun, okay? So, peace, and I wanna know what you doing, okay? What you doing? That's, if you guys aren't familiar with that, what you doing phrase is kind of what I say after every video that I do. So, what you doing? I don't know what it means, but, you know, something I say. Say it with me. Practice it. Go to the mirror. What you doing? Alright, so, peace. And I hope you guys have fun. Okay?